Start with injury update on your guys. Stoff, CJ, I guess, too. Is he okay?
CJ's good to go, back to normal. Grinded it out pretty good versus Boise, but he's good. Stoff is slowly progressing. I would say he's a true game time decision, less of the BS game time decision we had given you. So I think he's progressing, but I cannot say for sure that he's definitely going to play. So we will look at it. It's been about 2 weeks, pretty good rest. But, you don't want him in pain by any means either. So we'll just keep looking to move forward with it.
And then are you guys preparing as though Magoon-Wath won't play, or have you made a decision?
There's nothing really to prepare for. You know what I mean? Like, we don't have a shot blocker like him. So, we're going to prepare as if they're all going to play. He's a really good player that obviously didn't look good, but it seems like it may not be as serious, which is great for him. But the game plan doesn't change. Obviously he's an elite shot blocker, and that'll affect the game either way. But, they didn't have him, and they almost beat Utah State.
All right, and then they are obviously very good at protecting the rim and two-point defense. They're elite at, and he's a big part of that. But in general, that's what they've done for years. What do you guys need to do to be successful at the rim?
Yeah, they've been that way. They've been so consistent with what they do. They've always got long, athletic, tough, quick twitch guys. They can, they're essentially switching almost all ball screens now. So you're not gaining a huge advantage with getting two on the ball or anything defensive or offensively for us. So you got to go make plays. You got to space the court properly. You got to keep them off the offensive glass when they do go. You got to keep them out of transition by turning the ball over. So as it pertains to like 2-point makes, I don't know. You just got to finish strong through contact because they're big and strong.
In case Mustafa does not play, can you kind of explain what you lose, both sides of the court, and how you attempt to fill those gaps?
You lose a lot. I think he was almost 30 minutes a game. He's a fifth-year senior. He's got experience in our program. He's tough. He's physical. You replace a veteran with a freshman. I like Jovan a lot, but he's a freshman. I bet you if you ask Jovan, would you rather start or come off the bench? He'd probably be a little bit more comfortable coming off the bench right now. So, yeah, that's a key starter on a team that won a championship last year, went to the tournament. He was sixth man of the year. So we're certainly not better without him. So, hopefully sooner or later he gets back. But it's going to be a time for anybody who misses time like that to just get back into rhythm. So Jovan's been good. Sacco's helped off in an increased role as well. But you're certainly never better when you're down a starter.
Jovan had mentioned in the postgame that it was not feeling well last game. I know CJ was not feeling well either. The week off helped you guys get through that?
Yeah, he seems better, but like anything else, when you're with each other so much, it kind of runs through teams. And I think anyone who has children, obviously, is experiencing this right now. So I don't think it was I think not having Mustafa certainly was a factor in the Boise State game, but I wouldn't say any of the illnesses. I know CJ grinded through it pretty good, but no excuses there. So everybody seems all right.
The week off, was that a good chance to give these guys a break and maybe hit reset, just get away from things for a little bit?
Yeah, it's always nice. I don't know if I love a break or a bye week this late in the season. Maybe a little bit earlier would have been nicer, but obviously you can't predict just the schedule and all those things. There's so many factors, but it was good. Yeah, I hate following up a loss with a break, but with Mustafa's injury, with some illnesses and stuff, it was certainly nice to have a couple of days off.
Coach, wanted to ask you about your depth at the post position in light of
where are you? There you are.
In light of Mustafa being a game time decision. It seems like Atiki's minutes have kind of been up and down. He had 4 minutes against Boise State. If you get in a situation where Nelly's in foul trouble against a physical team like San Diego State, who are you going to look to on the bench?
We've pretty consistently, when Nelly is in foul trouble, gone to Atiki at the 5. Fortunately, I remember San Jose, that was an issue. Atiki played more minutes. So we haven't really had a true third string. We've gone, I think, Jovan when Mustafa's been back. So hopefully that's not the case. But yeah, Atiki's got to be ready.
at this point of the season, everyone's hungry. Everyone's kind of desperate for wins. You're in a back-to-back situation where you're facing another team that's on the NCAA bubble. Like, does it change the approach for some of these games? Because look, you're playing teams that are fighting for their lives at this point.
Approach never changes. It's never going to change. I work very, very hard at that. I have a great belief in that. Is that right, wrong? I don't know. But, certainly as you get later into February, into March, and you understand that there's, quote, big games, I get it. But the approach, I just try to remain extremely consistent with what we do. We know playing at San Diego State will be very, very challenging. Boise clearly needed that game to kind of get back into the NCAA tournament picture. But, there's a storyline for every game where you need it, the opponent needs it, and you just try to block it out and remain very, very consistent.
Coach, what is it you expect out of San Diego State? They've kind of had an up and down season, and obviously they're hungry. I mean, watching the game film, what is it you expect out of them? Typical San Diego State?
Yeah, I mean, they've been extremely consistent over the last 30-something years, starting with Coach Fisher, and now Coach Dutcher does an amazing job of it. They recruit to it. That's their identity. Amazing defense, length, physicality. They're going to make you earn it. So I say that with the utmost respect. I don't expect a lot of surprises, and that's a compliment to them.
Obviously, this game was physical when it was here in the pit. They're a team that's going to make it physical anyway. Do you prepare any differently for a physical team like a Boise State and like a San Diego State?
No, I mean, you don't want to. You want to be aware of late in the season beating each other up, right? You're not going to do rebounding drills and things like that. You got to be fresh. But, I mean, again, a compliment to San Diego State. Our guys know what it's going to take to beat them. And all you got to do is experience it once. And obviously some guys have not been here, but they experienced it when we played them the first time. So you better be ready physically to play them or you're going to lose.
I think this time of year, everybody's dealt with injuries, and every coach has a rotation down. How flexible or creative, if at all, would you consider getting with rotation when you consider whether it's illnesses, whether it's injuries?
Yeah, you got to have B plans, C plans. You got to have contingency plans and every opponent's different, right? I mean, sometimes you can play small, sometimes you can't play small, or you're going to get burnt. So we've had to deal with it, to be able to beat a team like Utah State without CJ, without Mustafa. That's a testament to the other guys that stepped up. So you never have as much depth as you want. Sometimes it can be overrated. Sometimes it can't. Right now, it's very, very important for us that we have that. So we mix and match lineups in practice. You try to systematically create, offensively, defensively, things that are crystal clear regardless of what position you play in. And, I think everybody's pretty comfortable so far with that.
Great crowd at Boise, and it's going to be a sellout Tuesday night. Just your thoughts on playing at Viejas.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really focus on fans as much as the team on the court and the game. Playing San Diego State, that's a championship program. They've been operating at a championship level for a long, long time as it pertains to men's basketball. If you beat them, and we've been fortunate to get them, you better be ready to compete at the highest level. So the noise, whoever's in the stands, good, bad, or whatever, really, I don't address much of that. But it's a great venue. They've had some unbelievable players that have gone there, and they've been really, really consistent at a high level.
Last question. Any comments on the UConn-St. John's game?
I didn't watch it because we were practicing. Happy they won. No, not really. I mean, it's a great win for them. I don't know.
Yeah, quite a game. And turnaround.
Yeah, I wasn't able to see a lot of it because we were on the court. So, I mean, yeah, he's having a phenomenal season. Cool to see the Garden packed like it is. So I know they want to, I don't know how many games they have left. They want to finish strong. So do we.